Hey guys, Samia here, wedding and portrait photographer, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am really excited about this video because today I'm going to be talking about how to find your niche as a wedding photographer. So something you can get real quick down below is my free pricing guide, which is going to go along with this video, and you'll understand throughout the video why, but you can get a free pricing guide to price your wedding photography the right way down below. So niching down does not mean niching from you are a portrait and wedding and family photographer to now you're a wedding photographer. What I mean by niching down in this video is niching down within the wedding photography industry, and the power of niching down is in how specific you can get with your wedding photography. The reason this is so important is because the wedding industry, as I'm sure if you're watching this video you know, is so competitive, especially the wedding photography industry. So if you are not niching down in some way, when you get to a certain price point or a certain budget of weddings, you're going to have a lot of difficulty competing with competitors in the industry because super established wedding photographers in our space are super niche and super specific about who they serve. I think the reason for that is because a lot of people spending a lot of money on their wedding and investing a lot into their wedding photography want a custom experience or something that feels like it was a service made just for them. So our job as wedding photographers is to figure out who it is we want to serve, what our niche is, what our calling is within the wedding industry, and then create a business that reflects that. How do we go about figuring out our niche, right? So I think the first thing to understand is that it actually takes years and years, and I was definitely someone who was trying to rush this process faster than I thought. And I think a lot of beginner photographers tend to think that it's about a preset or a pose or a lighting, and what actually goes beyond all of that actually goes into every single thing about the wedding, the couple, and your style of photography. I think it takes years to figure out, and the reason it takes so long is because you have to experience different kinds of weddings more than once. So for example, there are church weddings, barn weddings, mansion weddings, estate weddings, winery weddings, outside weddings, overseas weddings, destination weddings, elopements, all these different things that you need to experience, I would say 2 or 3 times each, just to know whether or not you like it or whether or not you're passionate about the setting and the environment that you're in. The best way to gain clarity on your niche is to not put yourself in a box too fast and open yourself up to second shooting a lot. So I think there's this misconception in this industry that if you're second shooting, you're a beginner or you're just starting out and you need to second shoot. I'm actually fully booked with weddings this year, and I'm still second shooting because I believe it is important to expose yourself to niches and industries higher than the one that you're in. So for example, I still second shoot with anyone who's charging double what I charge, just to understand that the niche and the industry will change once I get to that kind of level of weddings. So with that being said, with niches comes budgets as well. So with each budget of wedding photography that you are going to come into contact with, you're going to come with different niches available to you. For example, luxury weddings might have a tendency to be destination or international or in a mansion or estate, and not so much in other kinds of venues. What I want to say about this too is that the most expensive niche of wedding photography should not be your goal for a niche. So I think there's also another misconception that you should be striving for the luxury market, shooting $500,000 weddings, $1 million weddings. And the reality is that if you're not passionate about that type of wedding and those types of clients, that is not your niche, that is not your calling. And you can be extremely successful shooting average weddings in a niche way if that's what you enjoy. So I've been exposed to photographers, some of them shoot 30, 40 weddings a year at an average price point, and this photographer friend of mine has a team, and his team handles every single thing about his business except shooting. So he'll shoot the weddings on the weekends, and then they will edit, they will deliver, they'll do everything else because he loves to shoot weddings, and he doesn't make his prices too high that people can't afford them, because that is the business that serves his lifestyle well. And I have another photographer who I worked with once who charges between $10,000 and $15,000 for a wedding, and she only shoots 10 weddings a year. She does not have a team. She devotes her entire attention to 10 couples a year, and that's it. So 10 weddings a year and 40 weddings a year, they're probably making about the same income when you calculate all of it and the way they're running their businesses, but they're just entirely different, and they're both successful. So I just think that niching down should not be necessarily you striving for something that's the highest in the industry, when really there is no highest. It's what serves you best and what you are excited about shooting. It will naturally come with time. If you experience enough weddings, you will naturally start to realize what you like and what you don't like. So don't rush this process. Don't put yourself in a box, and don't force yourself to be a specific niche just so that you can charge a specific price. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, because I come out with 2 new videos here every single week, and I will see you later this week on YouTube. I'm also going to link another video I made here on how to raise your prices the right way as a wedding photographer.